Today we're going to go through file management in both a text interface and graphical interface. So to get started with text interface, first thing we need to do is create a text file. We'll do that here in Windows. So I will click on my search and go to Notepad, and I just want to type up a short file and go ahead and save that. Where I want to put that is out in my H drive. I'll put that under my H drive here, which will be in the root folder. I'm just going to call it me. So that will get us started, and I'm now going to go through the steps in a text interface and also in a graphical interface. So to do the text commands, we'll go to PowerShell. And you can see that I'm at the root of my H drive. You see H colon, the backslash is my root. So I've already opened up my H drive. If I was not in my H drive, I would type H colon to get there. And then I will list the files here by typing the directory command. I'm going to create a new folder here. To do that, I use the MD command. I'm going to call it test. If I use my directory command or press my up arrow key to get to that command, I can now see that that's listed under my list of files. I'm going to take that me.txt file that I just created and put it into that folder. So to do that, I'll use the copy command. I'll copy the me.txt file, and I'm going to put it into the H drive into my test folder. If I now change to that test folder, list the files there, you'll see that the me.txt file is listed there. If I want to display the contents of it, I use the type command, and there you see my ASCII characters showing up on the screen. If I want to rename this file, I use the rename command. I use the file name that I started with, and I'm just going to put peacock in here. And now if I list the files, you can see that that file has been changed to that. To remove that file, I just type del and then the name of my file and its extension. Let's go back to the root by typing cd backslash, and then let's remove that folder. I'm going to rd to remove the test folder, and that's how I would change to the C drive, which is the last thing that's on your list. Let's change back to the H drive and exit. I'm going to do these exact same commands that I just did, this time in graphical user interface, which in our case is Windows 10. To do that, I'm going to start by clicking on the File Explorer icon that is located on my taskbar. It comes up in a window, and I can see all of my drives here. I may need to click on this PC if this hasn't been expanded here. So you may need to click on this PC to see all of your drives. And if I want to get to my H drive, I can simply click on the H drive. The nice thing about that is that not only does it change to the H drive, but it also lists the files. So in one click on my H drive in File Explorer, I've essentially done a H colon and a dir. To create a folder, I can come up to File and say New, or I can right click into this space and say New and then Folder. Let's call it Test. I want to copy the file here. If I click on this file here and drag it over Test, you'll notice it kind of changes what it's doing. If I put it over here on the C drive, it'll say Copy, but if I put it over Test, it'll say Move, and that's because it's in the same location, it's in the same drive. If I hold down my Control key, I can change that to say Copy. Just like if I come over to my C drive and I hold down my Shift key, I can change that to be Move. So I'm going to hold down Control and I'm going to drag to make a copy of that there. Another option would be to right click on the file and go to Copy, and then go into the folder and choose Paste. Now if I want to go into this folder, I simply double click on the folder and there is that copy of the file. If I want to view what's in there, I double click on it and it brings it up in Notepad for me to see it. If I want to rename this, I can right click on it and go to rename right down here, or I can click on it once and then click on it again. I'm going to call it Peacock like I did the last time, and there it is. If I want to delete the file, I can right click on it and say delete, or I can simply select it with my mouse and press the delete key on my keyboard. Yes, I do want to delete it. To remove the folder, I go click on my back arrow here, or simply back on this H drive up here. And again, same process, right click and say delete, or press the delete key on your keyboard. Confirm that. If I want to change to my C drive, I would use the same process as double clicking on it over here. So it's doing the exact same thing as a Windows operation as I did on my command line. Good luck.